To give our commencement address today, I would like to introduce Mr. Robert C. Jamerson. Mr. Jamerson is a highly accomplished, versatile, and experienced executive in corporate America, as well as the nonprofit world. He is an alumnus of Northwood University and a graduate of the DeVos Graduate School of Management. He currently serves in an executive role with Pfizer and previously was Chief Executive Officer for the Detroit Police Athletic League, a nonprofit organization that serves more than 14,000 youths each year. Mr. Jamerson gives back to his alma mater in many ways, including serving on Northwood's Board of Trustees. In this role, with his fellow trustees, he provides vital leadership and fiduciary oversight. Trustee Jamerson is joined today by members of his family. Please welcome Trustee Robert Jamerson to the podium to deliver the 2023 Commencement Address.
All right, so hopefully if you heard the screaming upstairs, that's the excitement that my son has when I enter the stage, right? All right, this is a celebration, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the faces, and I know you may have had a long last night, right? You may have been waiting for this moment, but 2023 graduates, so proud of you, sincerely proud of you. Think about it. The walks when you first got on campus and that first cold, long walk down the mall walk, right? The sleepless nights, sometimes on your part, sometimes because you're studying for that final exam, the fraternities, the sororities, the music, the songs, the cries, the laughs, thinking about those memories. This is what sincerely life is all about. And today I'm excited to be a part of this with you. And for the people in the audience, right, the largest probably ever, right, to this point, I want to say congratulations to you, parents, family, faculty, staff, alumni, and even my son, Robbie, right? This is a tremendous, tremendous honor. I'm honored to stand before you today as a Northwood graduate. Northwood is not just where I earned my bachelor's degree and master's degree, but it's where I formed the foundation for a successful career, but also fulfilling life. That foundation was built through hard work, as Bob Watson would say, working smarter and harder. Value-based education guided by the Northwood idea, and you know the Northwood idea: free enterprise, freedom, entrepreneurship, and my favorite, personal responsibility. These are the ingredients for a well-earned life, a life filled with advancement and few regrets. When you look at the things that people regret most in their life, the top 3 things that they regret is the first one is that they didn't reflect enough. So think about that. They didn't take the time to think about the things that matter. You're sitting here right now and you're thinking about what matters most is my family's here. Who's here to celebrate me? Who's here that supported me during these difficult times? And now you're here today. The second thing is that they didn't take enough risk. And risk to me transfers into faith, right? Believing that you are here for a purpose. You are here for a reason. If not for you, then who would be standing in your place right now? And the last thing is that they didn't leave an inheritance. Something, not a building, not money, but something that lived on beyond them. My belief, my true belief is that all of us will have an opportunity to be the answer to someone else's prayer. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing to be able to be an answer to someone else's prayer. When I think about how people advance, and this is something I really wanted to share, if there was nothing else, and I know some didn't bring their pen and pencil right during this time, and if you do, you're wired slightly different than I would be. But there's 3 things when you're thinking about why people advance in life, right? And I wish I would have learned this lesson earlier. And I simplified it for you, so think of a pie, right? Think of P, I, and E. So performance makes up 10% of why people advance in life. And I know those of you who say, like, if I just put my head down and I just keep working harder and I work harder, that they will recognize me. Performance just gets you in the game. At some point, you're going to sit in front of me. I'm going to be looking at resumes, and and I'm going to be sizing them up, and I'm going to see awards here, I'm going to see hard work here, I'm going to see all these things. So just remember, performance gets you a seat at the table. Image is the eye. Image makes up 30% of why people advance in this life. Not just how you dress, and there's some sharp dressers up here. My favorite color right here is purple. I wish I could have had a purple, purple robe, right? But image is so, so important. And it starts with the belief you have in yourself, the confidence that you have, right? That then transfers over to someone else. How do they see you when you walk into a room? Do they believe they can follow you? Do they believe that they will listen to you? But it starts with the belief that you have in yourself. And the third most important thing makes up 60%, this is my math, right, of why people progress and advance in life, and it's exposure. I don't know if any of you have been introduced to Netflix or any other TV type of 3-volume series, but I love mafia movies, right? And the mafia movies, they start off with a friend of mine is a friend of yours. So when you start thinking about exposure, exposure is all around you. It's the network. It's the people you interact with, and you're not even realizing that they're looking at you and they're sizing you up. They're trying to see if you're someone that would represent them. Exposure is all about being in a room when someone else is standing in there for you. What do they say about you? Do they vouch for you? I think about standing here right now, and I wouldn't be standing here. Let Professor Nash say it. I wouldn't be married to my wife or having any success in life if it wasn't for him, right? But 30 years ago, I stood in the classroom with him, a kid out of Detroit, and sitting in there and remembering him say, how many people read the Wall Street Journal? And I looked around and I thought about myself and I said, well, I've read the sports page, right? But after that, him and I have a long-lasting relationship, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that exposure, that person that vouched for me, that believed in me, and that's been by my side. So with that, just know the importance of the network. And the network that you're sitting next to, there's going to be no more vital network than the Northwood University network that you can tap into. So while your zip code and other externalities may affect your success, fortunately, they do not dictate it. To put it in context, imagine growing up being dealt a hand in life that has you in and out of homeless shelters in Detroit. Imagine that. Fueled by the sacrifice, right? The sacrifice and resilience of your mom. You apply that fuel when you get a high GPA, you end up on the campus of Northwood University. And while on campus, once again, financial hardship hits you. You're faced with returning home. Imagine that. And so instead of you thinking about, like, what am I going to do, you decide to go to the big man's office, President McDonald. So imagine that, not a counselor, not a professor, not a mentor. You decide that I'm going to shoot my shot. And I'll say this to you right now. In life, you have to shoot your shot sometimes. You have to go in with not having all the answers and speak your truth. This young man decided to go and do that. He went in and then said, I'm going to take this risk. And however, the risk was rewarded. Donors came in. People came in and said, this is not acceptable on Northwood University's campus. And they decided to start a fund that helped students like him deal with crisis. That fund is now called the Aspire Fund. And so I'm going to ask DeLorean Ishman to stand up. Amazing. When we start talking about leaving a legacy, this is what I'm talking about. You do not have to wait. You can leave a legacy now. And the true superhero is his mom. Had a chance to meet her last night. Phenomenal. There's no wonder that he's showing up and showing out right now. So once again, we have another student that's on campus here today. So imagine your dreams, you come to the U.S. and you want to come to a great business school. You're well on your way to achieving your MBA and having a successful career in the hospitality industry. And then once again, the unimaginable occurs. Your country goes to war. Right? Not just dealing with final exams, but your country goes to war. And during this time, you're not sure when you're going to hear from your mom, your family, your friends. You're not sure if they're safe, but you decide to draw within. And what I mean by draw within, that means that you set aside and said, I'm going to decide to be positive. I'm going to decide to be able to be the example that I want to see. I'm going to make my family and my country proud. Amazing, amazing story to know that. That strength, that courage, not only influenced her teammates, her tennis teammates, but it influenced the Northwood family to rally around her and to be able to give her the support she needed, to the point where this family raised additional funds for 2 more Ukrainian students to come on campus. That is amazing when you start thinking about the work that we do. Irina, Tristan, please stand up. If you believe like I believe in Northwood values, then you know the importance of giving back, even right now, even today. I'm sorry, a little emotional just thinking about that story. It's amazing to know the strength that you've shown and how it transfers to other people, truly. This next student proceeded his commencement and actually gave a significant donation to the university, just in knowing how special this university is. This student enrolled in Northwood's adult degree program years ago. So imagine, once again, you complete your associate degree, you gamble on yourself, you open an auto parts store using the business plan you created at Northwood. So let me give you a backdrop. So his dad had a store already that he worked at. He decided after his sophomore year he's going to go home, take some classes, but then he takes the risk. Imagine the belief it took to take a business plan, forego completing your degree, and open a store. What I want you to know is he took the same experiential learning, which is the secret sauce of Northwood. He took the free enterprise. He took the entrepreneurial mindset developed here at Northwood, not only to make that store a success, but mind you, who knew? 25 stores later, that's the Northwood idea. That's the entrepreneurial mindset. That's what each of you have. This student said, I'm still not finished. Inspired by his wife and his kids and the degrees that they accomplished, he thought about it. He reflected on his life, and he realized there was one thing that was unfinished, one thing that he needed to do, and that was finish the Northwood idea, finish his degree. So 40 years later, after first stepping foot on this campus, Bob Washington is here today. Bob, please stand up. So this goes for any of you. If you're thinking that it's too late for you, you're thinking like, why would I start now? Not only does Bob have the story, but my own dad, he's 80 plus years old and he's recording his third CD. And he actually stays up later night, calls and check on me, matter of fact. It's funny. Seriously, it's funny. So when I think about that, we still have one more student that I want to go, and this is the final student. In life, it's rare that you're the first to do anything. It's amazing to be first. All these people that have come before you. But we have a student that's been successful in the automobile industry. Kevin Parlett, please stand up. Kevin is the first in Northwood University history. Doctoral graduate for Northwood University. Amazing, amazing. So as you can see, no two students are alike. Each of you have faced something. Some of you have faced the flood. Some of you have faced COVID. Some of you have faced other things. And if you haven't already, just wait. Time will tell and you will be tested. What I want you to know is all the challenges that are faced, all the opportunities that you will have in front of you, you are ready. You are more than enough. You need to be the change that you want to see in this world. If not for you, then who? When you think about this lifetime, there's going to come a time where they're going to need a student like you from Northwood University, meaning that you need to put this in your office. If it were easy, they would not be sending for you. Get that in your head. If it were easy, we would not be sending for you. So my challenge, if you're still sitting there doubting or thinking that, what if I fail? What if I fall? What if I'm not enough? What if I fall? My question to you will be, but what if you fly? So I'll say to you, students, graduates, class of 2023, go make a difference. Go mad. Thank you.